Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us again today for another CTC webinar. Today we're going to be continuing our series on sheet generator. This is part 3 of 4. Next week we're going to do layouts, and today we're going to continue where we left off last time. My name is Tony Crick. I'm the Civil Product Manager here at CTC Software. As we go along here, if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in to the question panel and we'll get to them if we can. Otherwise, we'll certainly get to them at the end of the presentation. So let's get started. So Sheet Generator, it's part of the SIM project suite of tools. We're currently on version 24.2. It is intended for the everyday Civil 3D user creating design and production drawings. It will work into the last 4 versions of Civil 3D back to Civil 3D version 2020. So why Sheet Generator? And how does it compare to the native tools? Well, the native tools, they create, but they don't really edit sheets on the fly. You need to recreate them manually when things change. And the view frames and match lines are somewhat inflexible and they have pretty limited profile view controls. Whereas Sheet Generator is more versatile. It'll eliminate the manual editing that you have to do. It will create model space view shapes that are linked to your sheets, and it's fairly easy to set up, works with all your current standards, and just uses simple block definitions. With that, we can create plan and profile, plan and plan, plan only, profile only, just like you can natively. But we can add and adjust match lines automatically in plan and or profile. And we have better profile view station and elevation control, which we kind of touched on in the last several, and we'll see that again a little bit today. We also have better pipe network profile view projections, meaning that we can set our controls to how far out it looks for our networks. And our layout tabs and sheet sets get generated automatically, which we are going to do in next week's presentation. And again, with all of our tools, we don't use any proprietary objects. You can share without losing any data at all across any other Civil 3D users. So with that, let's take a look at our drawing. Okay, so looks like you can see this. As we left off last time, we created our layouts, our main layouts for this alignment right here. We also made layouts for this alignment and also this alignment. And we talked about if you're going to do that, we need to have different layers for our view shapes, and you'll see why in a few minutes here when we create those. And we talked about the simplicity of it, and what we use is just simple blocks to create our view shapes and our view ports inside of our layout tab. Again, we'll get to that in more detail next week. If you haven't seen either of those two, and you want to get a quick view of what those do, our YouTube channel has those posted, as will this one be shortly after we finish. Certainly by tomorrow or the next day. So today we're going to continue where we left off. When we finished laying out these profiles, we created these profiles using the profile views, which is exactly the same as the Civil 3D profile layout tab that you'll get from your output over here. We just make it easier so you don't have to change ribbons. You can move seamlessly between these. Then we promoted the network, the pipe network that runs along this main road into our profiles, and we made some adjustments, and I showed you a couple of ways to either use the match lines or the centers. We left off with the center one, but we're missing one right here. So we need to add that, and here's part of how easy Sheet Generator works to add our views. So we ended right here at 26. I inadvertently deleted that last layout right here. If you watch the videos back, you probably noticed that, caught that. I did not, but that's kind of a good thing because I get to show you how we can add that one back in. So we're going to get this set up for next week. So we're going to use the Matchline layout. So we're going to do some adjusting to this. And as I said, we're going to add these and that one. So let's create this one right here that's missing. So first thing we need to do, we need to create the profile view. And again, this comes right out of Civil 3D. Same tool, exact same tool, where we set our alignment, our profile view style, and everything within that. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna change this user range. We want to, I should have shown you that. Let's go back and look at that. Let me cancel that real quick. So we want to pick up right here at 26.25, give or take. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in, or enter that in for our stationing in the user specified, and let it run to the end. So 26.25, the length I'll leave. That's what we ended on. If you watched our other ones, that's important. It matches the length of our plan view shapes down here, and that will help to align our layouts when we create our sheets. So we'll move along here. Next, I'm going to go ahead and give it the 100. We set that last time. We'll use that again. Not really that important. Pull off our labels. Next, we talked about natively, you can bring in the entire storm if you want to, or you can look with our tool, you can look just off the center line, the alignment, how far out you want to look for it. If you had other networks out there you wanted to avoid or what have you. So I'm going to just go right through this whole thing just in case you would like to see that. So here we'll go along, next, all the typical, the normal stuff. We set this in the last one too. We're going to leave that. And with that, we can go ahead and we can create our profile. So we keep it in order, and it doesn't matter with Sheet Generator where you put these, how they are. It's just whatever your preferences are and how you like to organize your model space layout. So with that, we created our last layout here. So 2625, 2650, we've got an overlap right there. And again, we're going to let Sheet Generator take care of that anyway to make all this work. So I could have typed 2650 in there. It's not really that important, just to make sure we get what we need here for our match to match where we left off there. So then we promote our network to view. And I just select it, and it's going to go on our default. We said last time, we said 30 feet. Tried a couple of different distances. 30 feet seems to cover it. It's within our right of way down here. So we know where that's going to land. If you're wondering what these other profiles are up here, why are they there? We created those just to show kind of how the tool works here. They're not important for what we're doing. In fact, we can just delete them. Let's erase them. So we don't need those. We won't need those again. So I'll just delete them. I don't need all that clutter out there. Okay, so let's put the network to view on there. So I select my profile. Again, there's our 30 foot. Right there, and there our pipe dropped in there. Our network dropped in there. We see the end of the last manhole and 2 catch basins we see right here. Dropped in there. So now we need it to match this right here. So we're going to adjust our profiles. First, I'm only going to select this one. That's the only one we need to mess with because we're adding just that one today. And we left with these settings here. It's going to remember your last settings that you used last time. So pretty easily, we can just move right through. We showed that also in the last webinar. So I said, okay, too quickly there probably. Let me do it again. It won't do anything, but I think you saw this jump. I was hoping to get that out of the way before I hit that. I'll just do it again. So I simply have everything set and okay. So that's where we are. We got everything is matched up. And now we can put our profile view shape on there. So again, I'm just going to select this one. I could do them all again, update them all again. We only need that one. I'm going to leave it at centered, just how we left off last time. And next. And we talked about how important these are in the last webinar. We'll get to that a little bit. This masking block I showed you down below. And as I stated in the last one, if you have any difficulties with any of this stuff and you would like the print block, profile block, the mask, match lines, anything that you see here that you would like, contact us here and we'll be sure to get those over to you. So with that, I hit finish and it centers everything up nicely there for us. With that, anal, I like to have it everything lined up, so I'm just going to slide it over so it's in line with the rest of these. Oops. Yeah, do that. Grab my. Why don't you let me do that? Okay. I don't know why I can't do a window select. We'll grab everything. Well, why didn't that go? Okay, I'll just move it manually. It's just a shape that shows where our viewport is. So we can do that. It's the same as this right here, which represents our viewport, which matches our print blocks, plan and profile. This is for profile, which will determine our viewports when we lay them out. So with that, we created those and they're centered, but we want to make sure when we lay these out that our match lines match in our layouts right here. And they're going to be pretty close, but they may not be right on. And you'll probably see this one shift because it's offset a bit. The others are pretty much in the middle, but so let's redo those. I can select them all right here. And this time we're going to set it to align with our match lines. So again, the alignment, we want to use the same print block. Everything's going to be the same. We are going to make an adjustment to this. I'm not going to right now. I'm going to show you what's going to happen here, what I'm expecting to happen anyway. That's not going to land as pretty as it does right now. So again, all the same settings. It's going to put our masking block back in, and I can just hit finish. So you see how they jump there. See how that went, and this is shifted a little bit, but because we've got this extra space from our match line to here on this end. And again, we can stretch this one out so it looks better when we finish. But for right now, I'm just going to leave that as it is. So once you get these set, as I've mentioned in the previous webinars, all your settings set, you won't have to go through all of this. And you're going to be using these on your typical layouts and your title sheets and what have you. So once you get where you like all of these to land, like I said before, this is going to be there for you the next time, so you won't have to go through all of this unless you like to change something. Then you can, and I know that from laying these out before, these are the settings that work to get things set in for how I would like them to land, so that's what I'm going to enter. And again, we don't need to change anything. If you watch down here, they're going to move. And we don't need to delete anything because it recognizes the block, so it makes everything fit. So now we can see that everything has fit nicely within those. And when we lay those out in our layouts, we're going to see how they match up. So now that we have that one, we can do our layouts for this, and it's the same process. So we've already done our plan view shapes, so we just need to create our profiles, and everything's going to be the same as you would do it natively. Once again, but this time we're going to, you know what, I don't remember how we had those set, but I want to say they were 450. I'm going to put 450 in there. And I can set that back to automatic because it's the full length this time. So next, I'm going to leave that same height setting on there. Remove the labels from there. And from there, I'm not going to step through the rest. We can create our profiles. So here's our profiles right here. Maybe I didn't get the right length, but we'll see what happens there. I think they were it looks like 450. So it's going to go to our match line right here. And that is 450. And it really wouldn't have mattered that much because we have other ways of getting that set up. So we'll step right through this again, our adjust profiles, pick them all. And again, as before, all of our settings are the same, except we need this one. So we talked about last time, we needed to have those layers for our layouts. Otherwise, it's going to delete where they cross over here. And so we had put them on a different layer, and this needs to be set to that layer to recognize those. So from there, I can just say okay, and everything else will be the same. We're going to use all the same settings. We don't have a pipe network to add to that one. Hopefully for the next presentation, I'll have a pipe network ready for that, and we'll just promote it in before we do our layouts. But for now, and it doesn't hurt to have it checked, selected. Nothing's going to come in there anyway. So with that, I say okay. And so because our setting was a little bit different than what we have now, we're seeing this one or more, this warning right here. So that's just telling us, I think that's just telling us that we can probably put this on 2 layouts versus the 3. So if I say oh, continue here, we'll see what happens. So here's what it did. With that length and with our view shapes, it knew it had selected just these 2 to look at, which is all we had. So we don't have that extra space we needed. It's picked up the entirety of our alignment to 900 right here. So it picked that all up. You know what? We have these little stubs. We have this one and this one. Let's go ahead and put those. Let's put those little pipe pieces on there just to show you it's crossing here, but that's okay. I think we can just add those right in there. Typically, you wouldn't probably do that, but let's just do it. So again, we're going to look 30 feet either side, and there, this little piece came in right here for the end of this one. Picking up some other stuff there. Not the prettiest, but like I said, you probably wouldn't do this typically. Not sure what's hanging there, but anyway, just to show you how that works right here. Oh, because we told it to look each side, it didn't pick this one up because it doesn't go beyond there. So it's only looking to right here. So with that, then we can delete this guy because we don't need that anymore. We're to 942 in this. We're covered there. So we don't need that one. We've got everything, the full length of it here. I'm just going to draw like a construction line here for when I line these up, because like I said, I like to see these all lined up real nice. That one is off a little bit too. Well, I won't worry about that. Right? I'll fix that before the next presentation. But so that's right there. And now we can create our profile view shapes. So I'm going to pick these 2, and it's going to know. If I would have picked some of these other ones, we would have gotten a warning that said that they're not there, that it can't find them. So again, here we need to set this then. One of our only adjustments, we got to set it to our what alignment we're using. This is Manchester Road or Path or whatever I called it. So go to next. And now the profile view shape layer. We don't have one here. That should work fine. Profile view shape is not in play. Print area blocks are the same. So everything's good. Oops, there it is. So with that, I can hit finish. And we left it, I should have shown you that, we left it at the, to do the same, the match lines. Let's just go back to that real quick here. So we have this selected again. And like I said, this held, so it's always going to be the same. And it probably will be for you too if you're whatever scale you're using. So this is going to scale it to the 20 scale. If you had it 30, 40, 50, whatever you had it, everything will be adjusted within there. So I can just cancel that out of there. And I want to line these up. I've seen drawings where they're just laying willy-nilly all over the place. I don't like that. Oh, I could actually, I'm going to leave that for the other one for the cul-de-sac road. So just like that, those are laid in there now. And we can quickly do the same for this cul-de-sac road, this tiny court right here. So just to bore you, we're going to do it one more time. So we'll go right back here to profile views, same setting. Got to pick our alignment there. This time we don't need a length again. The full length is fine. Leave it the same height. Take those darn labels off of there. And go ahead and create. And the same steps. We don't have a network at all for this one. We can skip over that one. And I noted in the other one too that we did not have to pick that right there. We could have stepped it and then done a manual pick right here if we wanted to. But again, right here, here's the important part again. We want to make sure we get this layer set. In fact, let me put it back to, I'll put it on, if you missed it, I'll show you what happens. I think we're going to get an error. Let's see. Okay, that was really ugly. So it wanted to look for, changed our station. It did some goofy stuff. That's okay. We can fix it right here. Just redo it. So it looked for, within there, it looked for the closest stationing it could find using that planned view shape that we put in there. Whoops, I did the wrong thing, didn't I? So adjust profiles. And now we want to make sure we select the correct layer. And there picked it up. So it's going from 0 down the entire length of our road right here. Which our alignment ended at the curb returns. So again, one more time, we can put the profile view shape right in there. And this time we don't need for this little short one, we probably don't need to do it at the match line. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to tell it to center this time. I think if I set these to 0, it should be okay. So again, nothing different needs to be done here. Talking about this layering is the same for all of them. And if I just say finish, put it in there and lined it up real nice. Might not when we do our layouts, but we'll check that next time. But it's pretty much centered in there. Looks like, you know what, I'm going to redo it just in case. Let's put it back to the match line. It's probably going to shift quite a bit within here. but that won't look bad when we do our layout. So let me just do that one more time, and we'll match it to the match line this time. We should see it shift. And now we want to do our same minus 4.5. It was minus 30. So everything is picked up here. View shape layers, right? What did I do wrong? To alignments other, oh, I didn't set my alignment. There's the warning. That's what I was kind of expecting to get on the last one. So we got the warning that it wasn't going to work. I don't know why it didn't hang on to tiny cord, but that's okay. And nothing else needs to be changed. Everything else is going to land in there. So we see it shifting a bit to match how this layout works right here, how this lays in there. This is our plan view shape that we look for, and this will be our viewport. So I'm just going to move this over and whoops. So I'm just going to move this over so it looks better, and that's all I really had to show you today. Trying to take these in bits and pieces, so if you want to review these, you don't have to go through a big long video to see the part you want to see. So with that, that's all I had to show you today. Next week, as I said, we are going to do the layouts. So again, as part of our CTC Sim project suite, we also have our manager suite, currently at version 24.2. If you don't have it, you'd like to get it, you can contact your reseller or contact us directly here at ctcsoftware.com. And as always, if you have any ideas or need help, contact us here at support, and we'll be happy to help you out. And we always like to hear your ideas. Our tools are built for you and about you to make your life easier. If you find something that would help you out along the way, give us suggestions, and we'll try to get those done. So with that, thank you. I don't see any questions right now. So thanks for joining us today. We'll see you at the next one, hopefully. And I will stick around for any other questions. If you have any,